Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about list price and trade discount and chain discounts. Those are the big topics. And the list price is the suggested retail price. Trade discounts are discounts that the sellers give the buyers. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to read this word problem and we're going to find the trade discount amount. Okay, so the example says the list price of a dining room set is $12,000. So that's the suggested retail price. And there's a 40% trade discount. So to find the trade discount amount, I want you guys to think back about your circles because this is going to follow us throughout the course. We have portion, base, and rate. The portion is part of the whole, the base is the whole, and then the rate is, of course, the percentage, the decimal, or the fraction. So in this case, find the trade discount amount. We're looking for the portion because the list price is the total amount. And we're taking a part of that off the list price. That's our discount. So the discount is our portion. And then our list price is the base because that's what we're taking it out of. And then, of course, the rate is the 40%, which we want to make sure we write as a decimal when we do our calculations. So the information that we have is the list price and the rate. So when I put that in the circle, what's separating the base and the rate is the multiplication line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 12,000 times 0.40, and that's going to give me my discount amount, which is $4,800. Now there's two ways to go about finding the net price. I'm going to show you both ways, and then you can decide which way you like better. So we have the first method. Okay, the first method for finding the net price. The net price is what the price is after you take off the discount. So that would be the list price minus the trade discount and that would give you the net price. So in this case, we know what the list price is. It was $12,000. We just figured out what the discount amount was. The discount is $4,800. When we subtract, we get that the net price is $7,200. So originally it was $12,000. They took off a discount of $4,800, and what they're going to end up paying is $7,200. Now the second method that you could go about doing this is think about the circle again. We have portion, base, and rate. And what we're trying to do is trying to find the net price. The net price is a portion of the list price. So the net price is going to be the portion. The list price is what we're comparing it to. It's the total amount. So that's going to be the base. Now remember, the net price represents how much we're actually paying. So if there's a 40% discount, then what we're actually paying is 60%. So when we compare the net price to the list price, we're looking at the rate. What percentage are we paying? So that would be 60% because we get a 40% discount. So the 40% is what we're not paying. The 60% is what we are paying. And then, of course, we write that as a decimal when we put it in on our circle. So the list price is our base, which we said was $12,000. The rate is 0.60, multiplication line here that's separating the two things that we know. So I'm going to take 12,000 times 0.60, and when I do that, I get 7,200. It's the same answer as what we got up here. It's just going about it in a different way. Okay, in example 2, we have the net price video system is $1,400. And then we have a 30% trade discount, and we want to find the list price. The list price was the amount before the discount. The net price is the amount after the discount. So the list price is our base. It's the total amount before we take off that discount. The net price is the $1,400, which is given to us, and that's going to be the portion. That's part of the whole, right? The net price is part of the list price. And then the discount is 30%. Now the trade discount, the 30%, represents the amount that we're not paying. And what we're doing here is we are comparing the net price and the list price, so our rate should be the amount that we are paying. So if we get 30% off, what we're paying is 70%. And of course, we would write that as a decimal. So when I look at my circle, my net price is the portion that's going to go on the top. My list price is the base. And then the rate is 0.70. Now, if I was trying to find the discount amount, then I would actually use the 30% as the rate. But because we're comparing this to what we're actually paying, we want to make sure that we're using the correct rate. We're paying for 70%. Okay, so what is separating the two values that I know is the division line. So that means I'm going to take 1,400 and I'm going to divide by 0.70, and when I do that, I get $2,000. So what this means is that the list price is $2,000, then 30% was removed for the discount, and then the net price, what the buyer is going to end up paying, is $1,400. Now, if I was doing this calculation, a way that you can check to make sure your answer makes sense, if I came out with a smaller number than 1,400, I know something went wrong and I didn't set it up right, because the list price should be more than the net price, because remember, the net price is after you take off the discount. In this example, we're going to talk about what's called chain discounts. And chain discounts is when you have a series of discounts. So for example, a seller might want to give a 5% discount, then they might want to give an additional 20% discount. So you have a series of discounts. So the notation for a series of discounts looks like this, that I'm highlighting in here in pink. And what that means, it kind of looks like a date where it's a number and then slash another number. But it just means that you have 5% off, then 10% off, and then 25% off. So when you see slashes like that, that just means you have a chain discount. Okay, so in this example, we have an outlet that bought a shipment of lamps. And for the whole shipment, the list price is stated to be $12,000. And there's a chain discount of 5%, 10%, and 25%. What we want to do, since there's a chain discount, we want to figure out what the rate is for all of those discounts together. Now, it's just not a matter of adding them up. I can't say, well, 5 plus 10 plus 25, that would be 40% off. I can't just add them up. It doesn't work like that. So, for example, if you go into, say, a Walmart store and there is a discount sticker on something that says, on something that's labeled as $100, it says there's a 50% discount. So that means you're going to be paying $50, right? You get half off. Then you get to the register and it says you get an additional 50% off. That doesn't mean you get it for free, because we take 50% plus 50%, it's 100% off. It's 50% of 50%. So that's different. The of means multiplication. It doesn't mean to add the series of chain discounts. So you have to be careful and make sure that you're not just adding those discounts. The of means you're multiplying. So what we're going to do, if we want to figure out the rate of what we're paying, what that percentage is, then what we're going to do, that's called the net price equivalent rate. Okay, so this first discount says I get 5% off. But that means I'm paying 95%. Then I get another 10% off. So 10% off means I'm paying then 90%. These are what's called the complements because they're going to add up to 100. 10 and 90 is 100. 5 and 95 is 100. So these are called complements. Then when I get the additional 25% off, that means of all the other discounts I just got, I'm getting another 25% off. So that means I'm paying 75% off. So the highlighted in pink, that's what we're paying. And let me do this in a different color. In orange, that's the discount. If I get 5% off, that means I'm paying 95%. So I'm going to take 0.95 and I'm going to multiply it because of means multiplication. And if I get 10% off, that means I'm paying 90%. So I'm going to multiply that by 0.90 for the 90%. Then if I get 25% off, that means I'm paying 75%. So now I'm going to multiply it by 0.75. When I multiply all that together, I get 0.64125. Now, do not round this. When you're working on your homework, do not round that to say 0.64 because you'll get it marked wrong. Believe it or not, those extra digits are actually going to make a big enough difference in your answer when you start multiplying that you want to make sure you keep all of your digits. So this here is what's called the net price equivalent rate. I'm just going to abbreviate it, the net rate. If I want to write that as a percent, remember I would multiply by 100, so that would be 64.125%. Now I can use that rate to figure out my net price. So I would take my list price, which is $12,000, and I multiply it by the net rate to figure out what my net price is. So I have times 0.64125. And when I do that, I get $7,695. So I take the list price times the net rate to get the net price. Now, if I wanted to figure out what the single equivalent discount rate was, if I know that I'm paying 64.125%, then I could figure out by subtracting from 100 what's left over. That would be the amount of my discount. So that would be 35.875% for my discount, which as a decimal would be 0.35875. If I'm working with percents, this is what I've got. Now, if I just wanted to take my net rate in decimal form, I could take 1 minus 0.64125, and I would get the 0.35875. So I could either do it using percents, or I could take 1 minus 0.64125 and get it in decimal form. Because remember, 100% in decimal form is 1. So this is when you're using decimal form, and then this is what you're doing when you're using percent form. So now I can use my discount rate to figure out how much my discount is. So that would be my list price, which is $12,000, times my discount rate, which is 0.35875. And that would give me my discount amount, which would be $4,305. Now, the other way that I could calculate my discount amount is I know if my list price is $12,000, and if I know my net price, which we figured out before, and part B is $7,695, then whatever the difference is between these two would have to be the amount that I get discounted. So you could do it this way, or you could do it the second method. Either one works fine. Let's go through one more example with the chain discount, because that was a lot to take in example 3, and we want to make sure that you understand. So in this example, we have a list price of $14,000 and a chain discount of 4% off, then 8% off, then 20% off. And in part A, we're going to find the net price equivalent rate, which means we're going to try to find the rate written as one single percentage or one single decimal that will help us calculate the net price. So if I get 4% off, that means I am paying 96%. So I'm going to take 0.96 times. Then my next discount is 8%. I have to pay 92%. So then I'm going to multiply by 0.92. And then the next discount is 20%, which means I have to pay 80%. So then I'm going to multiply it by 0.80. So I'm multiplying to find the net price equivalent rate. I'm multiplying all the complements of the discounts. When I multiply those all together, I get 0.70656. And you want to make sure you don't round those. Keep all the digits. So this is the rate that we're going to use to calculate the net price. So if I want to find the net price, I'm going to take the list price, which is $14,000, and multiply it by my net price equivalent rate, which is 0.70656. And when we do that, we get $9,891.84. Now, to find the single equivalent discount rate, that is the complement of your net price equivalent rate. So, since we have that in decimal form, let's just stay consistent with decimals. I want to find the complement of part A. So, 100% as a decimal would be 1. So, I'm going to take 1 minus 0.70656, and that's going to give me 0.29344. So this is going to be the rate that I use to figure out the amount of my discount. So to find my discount amount, I'm going to take my list price, which is $14,000, and I'm going to multiply it by 0.29344. When I do that, I get $4,108.16. So this is the amount of my discount. That's one way to do it. Once you know what your net price is, you can find the difference, and that should be the amount of your discount. So if you start with 14,000, but you're paying $9,891.84, the difference has got to be your discount amount, which is $4,108.16. So this you can calculate either way. That's totally up to you.